Once upon a time in ancient Greece, there lived three old monks. Their names are not remembered today simply because they never revealed them to anybody. In Greece, they were simply known as the three laughing monks. They always traveled together and did nothing else but laugh. They entered a village or a town, stood in the center of its main square, and started laughing. Slowly but surely, the people who lived and worked there, as well as the passers-by, couldn't resist and had to start laughing as well until a small laughing crowd had formed. Eventually, the laughter spread to the whole village or town. That was the moment when the three old monks moved on to the next village. Their laughter was their only prayer, all of their teaching, because they never spoke to anybody. They just created that situation. All over Greece, they were loved and respected. The people had never known such spiritual teachers before or after. They seemed to communicate that life should be taken only as a great opportunity to laugh, as if they had discovered some kind of cosmic joke. So they traveled and laughed for many years, spreading joy and happiness throughout Greece. Until one day, while being at a particular village in the northern region, one of them died. The people were shocked. Word spread quickly, and soon villagers came running from afar, leaving their fields and homes unattended. They had all gathered to witness how the two remaining monks would react to the death of their companion. Surely they would mourn. Surely they would cry, or at the very least, show some sign of sorrow. That is what everyone expected. But instead, to the villagers' astonishment, the two monks were laughing. And not just laughing, they were laughing even harder than before. Their laughter echoed through the village, rising above the murmurs of the confused onlookers. A few of the villagers, unable to contain their disbelief, approached the monks and asked, "Why do you laugh? Your dear friend has passed away. Shouldn't you be grieving?" For the first time, the monks actually responded. One of them, still chuckling, said, "Because yesterday, on our way to your village, he made a bet. He wagered that he would be the first to leave this world, and no way won." The other monk nodded, laughing. The old rogue. He even prepared a testament for this moment. The villagers listened in stunned silence as the monk continued. "It is tradition to wash the dead and dress them in clean clothes before the funeral, but he specifically requested otherwise. He said, 'I have never been filthy for even a single day. I never allowed the filth of this world to touch me because I laughed.' And so, respecting his wishes, they placed his body on the funeral pyre just as he was. As the fire was lit and the flames began to rise, something unexpected happened. Suddenly, fireworks of 100 colors exploded into the sky. Red, blue, gold, and silver lights danced above the flames, bursting in all directions. Gasps of awe filled the air as the fireworks crackled and shimmered, illuminating the night sky over the village. And then, one by one, the people began to smile. A few chuckled softly. Then a few more laughed. And soon, just like always, the entire village was laughing along with the two monks. They laughed and laughed, their voices rising into the heavens, until it felt as if even their departed friend was laughing with them. The laughter in the village continued late into the night, echoing through the hills and valleys of northern Greece. The flames of the funeral pyre burned brightly, crackling in rhythm with the joyful voices of the villagers. As the last embers flickered and the fireworks faded from the sky, the two remaining monks stood up. Their smiles were as radiant as ever, their eyes filled with something deeper than happiness, something beyond mere joy. Without a word, they turned and began walking out of the village, their bare feet pressing softly. Then a few more laughed. And soon, just like always, the entire village was laughing along with the two monks. They laughed and laughed, their voices rising into the heavens, until it felt as if even their departed friend was laughing with them. The laughter in the village continued late into the night, echoing through the hills and valleys of northern Greece. The flames of the funeral pyre burned brightly, crackling in rhythm with the joyful voices of the villagers. As the last embers flickered and the fireworks faded from the sky, the two remaining monks stood up. Their smiles were as radiant as ever, their eyes filled with something deeper than happiness, something beyond mere joy. Without a word, they turned and began walking out of the village, their bare feet pressing softly into the earth. The villagers watched in silence, knowing that this was their way. They had come, they had laughed, and now they would move on. But just as they reached the edge of the village, one of the monks suddenly paused. He turned back to face the people, his expression unreadable. For the first time in all their years of traveling, he looked as if he might say something. The crowd held its breath. And then, with a twinkle in his eye, he burst into laughter once more. His companion joined him, and soon the entire village was laughing again, louder than ever before. The monks waved farewell, still laughing, and disappeared into the horizon, leaving behind a village forever changed. From that day forward, the people of the village carried on the monks' tradition. Whenever hardship or sorrow struck, they would gather in the town square, just as the monks had, and they would laugh. Not out of mockery, not out of ignorance, but out of a deep understanding that life itself was a great cosmic joke, and that laughter was its most sacred prayer. Years passed. Generations came and went. The story of the three laughing monks spread far and wide, from the valleys of Thessaly to the mountains of Epirus. But no one ever saw the two remaining monks again. Some say they continued their journey, wandering from village to village, their laughter carried by the wind. Others believe they vanished into the heavens, laughing even now among the stars. And then, of course, there are those who whisper that one day when the world has grown too heavy, when sorrow and seriousness have weighed it down for too long, the monks will return, stepping once more into the town square to remind us all of the simplest, most beautiful truth of life.